Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another episode of PRI Talk. Do you have a question posed today? And it's one of my questions. What is a Division One athlete? And I don't have an answer for you. So if you're hoping that in the time of this podcast that I'm going to have an answer and be able to define it, I don't. Not right now, anyway. The purpose of this is I want to create some discussion because I think right now on this side of volleyball, the club and high school side of volleyball, we're saying a lot of the same things, and I don't necessarily know what any of it means, if that makes sense. We're using words and they don't have a definition or meaning or anything like that. So and what I mean by that is this, and that's why I want to start diving into this. What is a Division One athlete? So here's where we start. The first part is this: club coach, club recruiting coordinator, club director, high school coach, whoever it is, tells an athlete something to the effect of, "You can play Division One, right? You can be a Division One athlete. You are a Division One athlete." That's great. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic compliment, I think, in a lot of ways. But where we run into problems is, what does that mean? So just in general, looking at it, and if you've listened to anything I've said or been to one of my seminars, you've heard me say this before, but Division One is made up of 330 plus schools, and the difference between number 1 through 5, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, RPI wise for Division One, and the bottom 20, 30 schools is huge. It's a huge spectrum. Okay, it's just this huge gap in difference in height, physicality, speed, like all these different things. There's a huge difference. So where along that sliding scale do you fit when someone says that you can play Division One, that you're a Division One athlete? Okay, the next part, Division Two, and I have this discussion with Division Two coaches. I feel like regularly, or at least I have. One of my pushbacks up against Division Two coaches has been this kind of phraseology of, we're like a Division Two coach saying we're like a Division One mid major. Well, you're not. You're a Division Two school. So you're not a mid major Division One school. How are you like a mid major one? How are you like a mid major Division One? Let's talk about that. But to say that you're just like a mid major Division One, that doesn't make much sense to me, because you're not that. And Division Two prides itself on not being Division One, right? On every single Division Two athletics department logo, the NCAA logo is NCAA Division Two. I choose Division Two. Like, you're differentiating yourself from Division One because you preach about a better student athlete experience and having like a better academic situation and like quote unquote lifestyle, whatever that necessarily means. But Division Two communicates this notion of we're different from Division One because of A, B, and C. Which is, I think, great. I've told Division Two coaches, stop saying that you're like Division One, because you aren't. And if you're comparing yourself, if you're trying to recruit an athlete that's getting recruited by a Division One school, and you say, well, we're just like a Division One school, right? Then the athlete is going, well, I can have a Division One school, or I can have something that's like a Division One school. I'm going to pick the real thing, right? It's like the store brand versus the actual brand, right? The non-store brand. Okay, so I know Division Two coaches do that, and I know we also talk a lot about at the Division Two level recruiting quote unquote Division One athletes, right? So now you've got the spectrum of 330 plus Division One schools that are Division One athletes, and then you've got this huge swath of Division Two programs that are communicating that they are also recruiting Division One athletes. So what does it mean to be a Division One athlete, right? We have this huge spectrum now that encompasses Division One, Division Two. Adding on to that, I have conversations with NAIA and Division Three schools, okay, that are communicating to me that they want a Division One level athlete. Okay, they're recruiting athletes that are choosing a Division III model for a bunch of reasons. The academic piece, for some of the similar reasons that they would choose Division II. Really high academics at a lot of Division III schools, really good programs, really good coaching, right? All those kind of things. The spring schedule is different. Travel schedule is different in the fall for sure for a lot of Division III programs. So the makeup is different, but it's a separate division. But even those Division III schools, NAIA coaches are saying that we are recruiting Division I athletes. Okay, so if everyone, Division I, II, and III, NAIA, if they're recruiting quote unquote Division I athletes, then what does that mean? So when we say you're a Division I athlete, we recruit Division I athletes. If literally everyone is doing that, then how do we define that, right? Is it something that we can even define? Is it tangible, right? Can we point to it? Or is it like the scene in Incredibles where the mom says everyone's special, Dash, and Dash says that's just another way of saying no one is, right? So if having the moniker of being a Division I athlete is something you want and playing at the Division I level, like that's great. But we've got these other levels, Division II, Division III, that are almost claiming the same thing. And again, Division I is a huge spectrum of levels and abilities and talent and physicality and all that kind of stuff, right? So across the board, we've got claiming of quote unquote Division I athlete. And I think that's really interesting. And I'm not trying to knock on anybody or be mean about it or insult anyone or say anything bad about anyone, but it's an interesting piece. How do we define, how can we define better the type of athlete that we're looking for? How can we point to what we need in our program, Division I, Division II, Division III, the tangible like metrics, maybe some of the intangible things that we need, right? How can we do a better job of communicating that as college coaches and on this side when we have athletes that we think are quote unquote Division I? What does that mean, right? What does that look like? Okay, and where do they actually fit? Can we come up with some different terminology to communicate things about athletes that will hopefully have this part make more sense, and we can kind of piece out and pull out some different things where we can go, yes, that athlete is a fit for us because A, B, and C, versus just that kind of stamped on label that apparently, again, everyone is using, that stamped on label of Division I athlete. Okay. So that's the discussion I would like to have. So for those of you guys who listen to this podcast, again, I do appreciate that, but I like to have that discussion. Can we have a different terminology, phraseology to define and communicate about athletes? Because I think it would be on everyone's, it would be a benefit to everyone if we could communicate better about what we're actually looking for and what type of fit we have. And just a quick example of this would be the mid-major thing, right? We've got Power 5, then we've got mid-major schools. And I even think that within Division I think those two labels there's vast differences between those, right? Mid-major includes a huge grouping of programs across the country that I don't necessarily think is fair, right? There's definitely different from a volleyball perspective. There's definitely different levels, different conferences have different levels and all that kind of stuff. There definitely would be I would love some better ways to describe schools other than just a mid-major program. So let's have a discussion. Leave me a comment, shoot me a message. This is something I'd love to continue a conversation about. Again, for the sole purpose of being able to communicate with college coaches and athletes where they are a better fit, and use that as a helpful tool, right? So shoot me your comments, call me, text me. I would definitely love to communicate more about this and figure out how we can more get on the same page and help athletes and help you guys. All right, thanks.